Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, this is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing pack 4 of the award-winning Agora Models release and build the Apache Longbow AH-64 attack helicopter. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? We haven't seen this for some time. I've actually got 3 packs for this. Don't be surprised if I go and do all 3 packs this week, because I do want to get myself ahead of these. Now, I am going to change around the way I'm filming this, because in the packs we get loads and loads and loads and loads of armaments, and we also get parts of the helicopter as well, and there's a lot of decals to put on. So I think what I'm going to do going forward is I'm going to leave all the decals and the armaments, and I'm going to put them in their own video at the end. Let me give you an example of what we've done so far. As you can see here, this is what we've done so far. You can see now why there's so many, and there's even more to come. This has so many accessories, this build. I think it's going to be better to leave all of this to the end. So for that reason, I'm going to be solely concentrating on the helicopter. Now, if the helicopter has got some decals on it, which I'm not going to be able to get to once it's built, I'll put them in now. Otherwise, I'm going to leave all them to the end as well. So that just means I'm getting on with the helicopter. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. As I said, this is an award-winning build. This won the award for 2024 as best model, as drawn on the Christmas quiz, and you can see why when you see how much stuff there is to do. But we're going to jump straight into it now, so without further ado, let's get cracking. Now, pack 4 starts with stage 23, and as you can see, we've got more decals here, and by the look of it, we've got more parts for the armaments. Gotta learn to say that word. But to start off with, we're going to be completing that engine nacelle that we started in the last stage, and to do that, we're going to be taking these 2 parts here, putting these together. So I'm going to need some glue, and they clip together just like that. Then I've got a grill to put over the top of these, so I'm just going to gently put a dab of glue just around the edge and drop this grill into place. So that's looking like that. Now this has got a keyhole pattern on it. This is going to be going into the same keyhole pattern we've got just here, and again that's going to be glued in. So let me just do that now. So that's in there, and if you remember, this is what we created in the last pack. This is going to be going onto here, but we don't glue this in. It's just going to be pushed in. See, that took some pushing to get that in there, but as you can see, that's it. And the circular side of this should be towards the circular side of this here. Now, once again, there is going to be a work platform decal that's going to be going just into this point here. And I am going to put that in now, because I can't guarantee I'm not going to be able to get to it. So let me just quickly put that in, as you can see. Put that to one side, and we do have these missiles that we're just going to be putting the base sections in. Again, I'm just going to see how these fit. I don't think we need to glue these. It's not saying that we need to glue these, but they're just going to go in like that. And then we are going to be putting decals on these, but I'm going to put those on afterwards. The last 2 details I've got look like this. I just need to press this onto this detail here. Now it is a D-shaped pattern, but there you go. That's on just like that. Now if you remember, we had created one of these nacelles here with all the decals on, as you can see there before. And in the last pack, we were working on the other one here, and it's just a case of putting the decals on in the same place. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 24, let's get all these parts out. Once again, armament stands, I'm going to put them to one side. And I've opened everything for this pack. What I'm looking for is this section here with the forked end on it. I'm going to be putting a bearing just over the top of this, like that. And then this is going to be going into the hole of this base this way round, so then the bearing's fitting inside there. This is able to slide up and down still, as you can see. I want to put this top cover over here. So threading this down, then that's going to fit on the 4 holes at the bottom, and I'm screwing those in with these JP screws. So 4 of these, and with those into place like this, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 25 here, we're going to be preparing the motor. This is the shaft motor here. Let's get all of these bags open. And basically, the first thing I want is this section here with the notch facing me like that. Now in that notch, I'm going to be putting this rod, which again has got a D-shaped hole on it. So that can go on like that there. And then I was about to take a deep breath to do the next section, but that's it. That's all we do in that stage. So we have got some screws and the motor left over. So again, I'm going to put those to one side, and I'm bundling that up with stage 26 because I didn't realise there wasn't much to do in that one. So we've got another motor in this one, and stage 26 is actually called testing the motors. So that's going to be good. So if you remember, they do provide this test board here, and all I'm going to be doing is plugging K into the bigger plug here, and you can see that's going around no problems at all. And we'll do the same with the other motor here that we just had previously, and as you can see, that's revolving around as well. Different speeds for different motors though. And that's basically all we're doing in stage 26. So again, I'm keeping those two parts to one side and bundling that with stage 27. So get all of these parts out. Once again, we've got a different kind of missile here, which I'm guessing is probably going to need some decals on it, but they look just like this. And I've also got these stands as well. So because this is to do with armaments, I'm leaving them to one side. But what I do need is this box here. What I'm going to do is take the motor, which was running slower last time, looking like this, pass that through the smaller hole, and you'll see it's got the same shape as this motor in here. So once I've got this all the way through, I should be able to sit this motor in here so it sits nice and flush like that. Now remember, I had those black screws from stage 25. I need them now because this is what's going to attach this motor into this box. So one there, and one just on the other side here. And then you've guessed it, the bigger motor we've got, which looks like this, is going to go into the other hole here. Get that all the way in. And again, it is shaped, so it's going to go in just like that there. That's how it's looking from the back. And we want to keep that into place with this bracket here. Now with the bracket, we want it to be facing this way down. So the indented side's facing down. It's going to go over the top of this motor, and that's going to keep that into place. And I'm holding that in with some of these DP screws. That's perfect. They're all in. Now these two gears I've got here look similar, but they're not. One of them has a D-shaped hole in the middle. One of them has a round hole. It's the D-shaped hole one I'm going to need first. And the flat side of this, I want to go towards the bigger motor. So threading this on. It's certainly a tight fit, but you should be able to get that all the way down there like that. This is sitting flush to that motor, as you can see. I'm then going to be taking the gear that we had on the rod from stage 25, and I'm going to be putting this into that section just there, so it's engaged with the smaller motor. So then I can put that to one side and just bring over this rotor that we're working on at the end of the last pack, and we're going to be putting this gear onto this rod here. Now, as you can see, we do have a little notch inside there as well, but it is going to go flat side onto this. So just line those notches up and push that in like that. So when we're going to be putting these two bits together, we've got to remember gravity is not on our side here. So I'm going to do it sideways. I'm going to be putting this over the top here, getting that all the way down, making sure that's engaged with that top motor, which it is. That was a little bit tricky. And then I was going to piece all of these together just like this. Perfect. Okay, so that should have resistance from the motors. I'm probably going to test one of the motors in a second, but what I am going to do is just put these in with some DP screws, and I'm screwing these into the four corners here. So put that to one side, and I'm going to be building another armament at the moment, but I am just going to build the case for this. So basically I'm going to be gluing this top section onto this section just here. And even though I'm not doing the ornaments until the end, I am going to build the case for this, because this section here is just going to go onto that panel just there. It is glued in. So let me put some glue on there. I want it so that the tab at the top, once this is in, is towards this end here. Now again, this needs decals, and those missiles that we just had in this pack, which look like this, and you will see this at the end, they're going to be going down the ends just here. But that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 28, we're going to be doing the power connector. So again, let's open all of this up. I've got some stands for the armaments. I'll put them to one side. And some more missiles. And the first thing I'm going to need to do is I want to take this section here. Now this is stamped with an R. So I want to take this power coupler, which looks like this. That's just going to be slipping into the ring just there. I want to put its buddy on the other side. So that's making one part, and this is able to turn in here, as you can see. Open these HP screws, and I want 4 of those in here to hold this together. Now I want the screw heads facing towards me with this section here. I'm going to be putting this into a carrier here, which is labelled with an L. So keyhole pattern, line that up on that side, that goes in there. And then you've pretty much guessed it. We're going to be putting the other side just over the top, lining that keyhole pattern up again. Perfect. Once again, held in with DP screws. Now we are going to be needing some of these DP screws later on, so don't throw any of these away. But get these in. And it's 2 each side. Now we do have this base, which isn't used at the moment because that's that section done. And just like last time, I'm going to do the ornaments at the end, but this section here, once again, I can just glue this top onto here. Just like that. That's all there is to do in that stage. Now the last 2 stages I'm going to mix together, because stage 29 is the main frame brace, which is metal and looks like that. We don't actually do anything in this stage, but we do go swiftly on to stage 30, which is the main frame, looking like this. So I'll just get everything out here. Lots of metal in this parts. Again, stand for some of the ornaments. By the end of this build, I will have that word sorted, I promise. Some more missiles. And another one of these that need to be glued together. Again, I'll do that one now at the end. And you know what? I'm not kidding you here. Everything, aside from this bit here, is metal. So that's why it's so heavy. But what I'm going to do, first off, is join these 2 parts together. So this is just going to go over the top like that. It's held in with CM screws. Because I'm going into metal, put a bit of oil on the screw there, get that in nice and tight. One the other side. Once I've done that, turn this over just like that. I'm going to be taking this metal section, and this is going to be going over the top, reinforcing everything you can see there, just like that. Take the power coupler that I created before, and that's going to be going through this side here, and it's going to be going into the holes. Just seeing if there's a certain way around it needs to go. Yep, it looks like it's this way. So that's going to be fitting flush in here, as you can see. Turn it over, and then this is where we're going to be putting that base section in. So we want to thread this through the leads like this, so this can land on top. Put that on top just there like that. Again, ensuring that it's flush. I'm just checking again if there's a certain way this needs to be. Just that way there. And remember those DP screws we had left over? Going to be using those now to secure that into place. So we need 4 of these. Now, on this side here, the side with the metal on, this is where I'm going to be putting this black bit of plastic now. And this is going to go over the top of this section here. But we want it so that these tabs are facing upwards. So this is going to fit flat in there, just like this. And I'm securing that in with BM screws. And we need 8 of these. So I'll get all 8 of these into place. This is the last one just going in here. And then turning it over again on this section here, I'm about to put the motor assembly that we created before. And I want to find cable K here and thread that through this opening in the base. When I've got this way round, we don't thread the other cable through. But you know you've got it in because this section over the top here should line up with holes on this side, and there is a locating lug in here. So I'm just going to make sure that's all into place. That looks good. And it's this side here that I'm going to be putting some CM screws. Again, I'm going into metal. So one there, and one just below it here. Get them in nice and tight. And then just putting that to one side. As I said, once again, I won't be doing the missiles. I'll do them when I do the armaments in the very end video, but I will just glue the top of this onto here. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Well, now that was fun, wasn't it? You see what I mean about the armaments, though? If I was to do them here, the video will go on for hours, so I am going to save them for a special video at the end. But that was pack 4. If you like what you see, you want to get this for yourself, it's available for Agora Models, and I'll put the link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.